Awareness. It says being more aware of yourself and others leads to viewing most situations from a integrated, holistic position. But remember, this awareness isn't just about peace at work. It awakens and provokes. So awareness, be aware of things, be aware of what's going on around you. Be sensitive to those things, be aware and be sensitive to those things. And it may be things that you don't necessarily agree with. It may be things that you have a different opinion on. And it may be things that you're not even, that you're concerned with. But as a servant leader serving other members of your team, you have to be aware of what's going on. Persuasion. It says convince, don't coerce. One of the things that we said about command and control is that, you do based upon what someone's told you to do, or you do based upon an order. Well, persuasion. It says convince, don't coerce. Build consensus, not rules. And when you build consensus, what is that doing? That's building relationship. And all of these things, all of these 10 characteristics are about building relationship. And that's what it's about, building relationship with however small or large the entity is, with your team, within an organization. It's about building relationship. And so persuasion is a huge, huge part of that. Okay? Convince, don't coerce. So in other words, be upfront. Be upfront. Conceptualization and foresight. I'm glad these two are together, because what this means is that as a servant leader and as a member of a team, as a servant leader, you need to have some vision. And if you're going to lead, if you're going to be a leader and not a follower, you got to have some vision. So you've got to have some conceptualization, and you got to have some foresight, and to see, I like dream big, but use the lessons from the past and realities of the present, and see what the future may hold. And as you make those decisions. So these two are really about vision. And regardless of what type of organization you're in, regardless of the leadership style, that organization needs vision. Now, in command and control, that vision comes from one individual. As a servant leader, as a part of a team, that comes from the collective group of that team. So all of us on the team, we need to have vision. And that's very important. Very important. Stewardship, commitment to people's growth, and community building. These three are really very important in growing and developing people, investing in people, and trusting people. And so this it's very important. Stewardship, you need to be, the team doesn't belong to you, but you are a part of that team, and you have to be a good steward of that team. And that means that you don't, you treat people well. You don't take advantage of that team. So you need to be a good steward as a member of that team. Commitment to people's growth, looking at the potential in an individual on that team. Because, while they're all a member of the same team, they each have their own individual person, own individual people. So you have to be committed to their growth, because as that team grows, the individuals are part of that team, and they have to grow. So in other words, if your team is growing individually, then that team is growing as a whole. And that's in their personal lives, it's in their professional lives, whatever it is, whatever the investment is, you need to be committed to that, to those individuals' growth. Community building. Again, it's a matter of belonging. We are a team. That team is a community. And again, these things that I'm telling you, more often than not, these are not new to you. The team is a community. That organization is a community. We're a community. So build that community, build that relationship, build that fellowship. And as servant leaders, and if everyone on that team see themselves as a servant leader, and they're portraying these characteristics, then you've got a pretty good situation. You've got a pretty good situation to where, as an individual, you can grow, and as a team, you can perform. And that's really what it's about. Whatever that organization is, growing and performing. Okay?